Be afraid. Be very afraid.
So John's got a game for us to start out the episode with. What's the game, John?
Yes, sir. So I think it's appropriate, since our movie of the week is from 1996, I won't spoil it yet, that we do the 1996 Xenomania Horror Awards.
This is salacious.
I whipped up 4 categories for us.
Okay.
I'll start with the one that I think is the most basic. So,
Okay.
Best Hero.
From 1996.
You know what?
From
I'm
1996.
taking Matthew Lillard in Scream, because he is the hero of that movie. Those kids deserve to die.
All right. Well,
They're
we'll see if
awful 90s
we'll see if he
kids.
made the cut.
Oh.
The nominees are
Wait, well,
Nev
Okay.
Campbell as Sidney Prescott in Scream.
Boo, I didn't know we were getting.
I thought we were
Oh yeah, we
guessing.
are.
I was already.
Oh yeah, we are. Because I can't trust you guys to not say that Matthew Lillard is a hero.
He is a hero.
He's always.
Watch Summer Catch, bro.
In Summer Catch, he's even a hero in Summer Catch.
He bangs the mom.
Yeah.
They're like the lady who's like putting them up in the house. I think he eats
Yeah.
salad off of her or something. He's a hero to me.
There goes my hero.
There you go. Our second nominee is George Clooney as Seth Gecko in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
We also have Michael J. Fox as Frank Bannister in The Frighteners.
Yes.
Fourth nominee is Fred Ward as Earl Bassett in Tremors 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Aw. You made it hard.
And our fifth nominee is a co-nominee. It's Jed and Jody from Uncle Sam.
Well, it's not them.
Jody.
Oh, let's see. I mean, you made it wasn't really a thing until you brought up Tremors 2, because it was Michael J. Fox, bar none.
I'm slowly dwindling right now. I'm caught between two.
I'm with you on Michael J. Fox.
I'm a little shaky on him.
Because you want Fred Ward. That's why on that. Fred Ward.
All right. God. I'm gonna stick with Michael J. Fox because that movie was pretty damn cool. I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah,
Good
I gotta
times,
go with
yeah.
Michael J. Fox too. Reggie Bannister, Frighteners is a class act. If it wasn't Nev Campbell,
Frank.
it was Matthew Lillard. I would have taken that. Frank Bannister.
Yeah, Frank Bannister. You're confusing your Bannister, Reggie.
Reggie, did I say Reggie Bannister?
You sure did. Back from the days when we were a Phantasm fan podcast.
Hey, we'll accept that.
Exactly.
Accept that. We need a Reggie in our life.
All right.
I
So
love that we started.
Our
after
winner
that
for best hero
franchise.
is Michael J. Fox.
Oh yes, dude.
So if we have heroes, we have to have villains.
Matthew Lillard.
Jake Busey.
Hey,
gonna be
you're
one
on. Our first nominee for best villain is Ghostface from Scream.
No, just Matthew Lillard, not the other guy.
Not
the
Not
Luke
Ski
Perry
Ulrich.
knockoff.
Oh, you call him
You
the
don't
Luke
like
Perry knockoff? That's the poor man's Johnny Depp. Come on now.
Yep.
I don't even
He's
think
the
he wins,
poorer
by the
man's
way.
Johnny Depp. No. Well, let's
'Cause-
see what the other ones are.
Our nominees are thick here. Number 2 is Myron from Head of the Family.
Okay. Okay. That's a little more obscure.
Our next
Thank you.
nominee, Satanic Pandemonium from Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
For many
fair.
reasons.
Our fourth nominee is Sam Harper from Uncle Sam.
Also, probably not going to win.
Our fifth, Johnny Bartlett from The Frighteners.
And that's what you're gonna do.
Wasn't there a Busey in that movie?
That's Jake. Jake
Isn't
Busey.
Jake Busey
Jake
in The
Busey.
Frighteners?
He
Jake
and Bartlett.
Nicholas,
No,
best supporting villain.
The Middle Busey.
supporting.
Middle Busey. The one from Arrival, the religious fanatic. All right. I get my head in the game here. Trying not to be too horny for this and just going with Satanico Lubioso.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to be.
I'm easy. I'm going with the sweep. Johnny Bartlett, Jake Busey, 1996. Frighteners. It's phenomenal. Johnny Bartlett, Jake Busey, he encompasses his father's insanity in that film. And he does a great job.
In life.
You know,
Genetic.
watching him take care of his father, he's his I guess his house giver now, or keeper, whatever they call it. There we go.
Caregiver.
Well, his caregiver. And you see like how his mind has deteriorated ever since the motorcycle accident and stuff. And Jake does a lot. And you can see he is unhinged, but he's a little more sane than good old Gary.
Is there a documentary or do you have webcam footage? What's going on?
Oh,
How do you know this?
It was on like he'll do YouTube
that's
videos with his
cool.
dad just to keep him in the spotlight because Gary thinks he's a star.
I like butter sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not there. He's been not there for a minute now. He's basically grown into his character from Lethal Weapon.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Mr. Joshua.
I think I am gonna stick with From Dusk Till Dawn. Actually,
I'm going
Just
to
lure
also.
them in.
I'm going to embrace
lure
the
them in.
horniness.
I think I keep
I
thinking
went
the
with
list, and I'm
numbers.
just keep coming back to it. And that was such a cool transformation. Well, it wasn't the best transformation because it was fast, but
Mhm.
it was cool when it went from that to that. And then the whole movie changes because you didn't know you were watching that movie until that happened.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
good deal.
All right. Our third category:
For one,
best horror movie.
Head of the Family.
Head of the Family is nominee number 1.
Yes.
We also
those
have
two.
nominated Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I remember that movie came out around the time that From Dusk Till Dawn came out, and I couldn't figure out what was
It's all
going
the
on.
same.
They are fairly similar.
Prostitute vampires.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I think right.
Yeah.
Bordello's like the Louisiana swamps, if I'm not mistaken. And From Dusk Till
believe.
Dawn, we have it
In
in like
your
Mexico.
Creole, we call that bayou, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Our
That's-
nominees: Tremors, Aftershocks,
That's for their
The Dentist,
Ah,
and Uncle Sam.
I feel like it's a theme that Uncle Sam is on each one of these lists, and we're just avoiding choosing it, which is
I'm
phenomenal.
not even going for like what I enjoyed the most or anything like that. I'm just thinking of what makes a good B horror movie. And Uncle Sam kind of skimps on the extra servings of that.
Yeah.
There's not as much reliance on weird stuff.
Mm.
They've got a good story. I might be thinking of Dr. Giggles too much.
That's
here.
where I'm going with it.
They are very easy to mix.
I'm trying to think if my memory is serving me correctly or if I'm just going to say this and it really means Dr. Giggles. Tremors 2 was... This is tough. Tremors 2 is not a good choice for this either, I don't think.
You're in between Head of the Family and Bordello of Blood.
I refuse to consider Bordello of Blood a B horror movie. I'm really thinking about The Dentist. I think I'm going to go with The Dentist
I like it.
because it's so stupid.
But you got Myron, Head of the Family, controlling all his siblings.
Hmm.
The intelligent, the lustful, the strong, the good-looking one.
It's a good canto.
Basically, it's just for adults. I gotta go Head of the Family. I've never seen The
No.
Dentist. I gotta go Family.
I might not have either, but I'm going for
I
it
do. I
anyway.
remember the scene, and John can correct me if I'm wrong, because it might be a different movie. There's definitely a drilling scene where he pops the drill in the person's mouth and just tears him up. I do remember
Yep.
that.
It's
Yeah,
Corbin
close.
Burnson
With
as the dentist.
Okay,
Yeah.
that drill scene.
You auditioned for that part?
A lot of dentists lost their fingers.
Yeah, I mean
because
it
of
was
that.
it was 96, a few years after his LA Law and Major League fame. That may have been all he was getting.
Which is fair. That's how it usually happens. Look at Nick Cage. That man was dead, but he built himself back by doing D movies. Look at him
Every
now.
movie they offer him.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna go with Uncle Sam as my best.
Okay.
What a
Stand
guy.
with your country, sir.
Well, and for
Yep.
reasons we will probably discuss shortly.
Yep.
All right, let's see what else we got.
All right, and our best picture
Okay.
we have Scream, The Frighteners, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Craft,
Oh,
and
okay.
Thinner.
Okay.
Thinner the book, way better than Thinner the movie. That immediately.
Crap.
The Craft is what makes it screwy. That cat sabotaged the whole podcast. We're still in that cat. She went after the mic.
Is that Reggie? Yeah,
Reggie Rumble.
Reggie.
She changed the whole lighting setup of your room.
It got bright.
I'm gonna go with The Craft.
Nice.
The Craft does get a little spooky. It's not a horror movie though, man. But I'm just gonna go with it because neither is From Dusk Till Dawn.
What? Whoa,
Or
whoa,
the
whoa,
first.
whoa. From Dusk Till Dawn is a horror film when those vampires pop out in the bar.
It's like an
That's-
action fight movie.
It's
It's a power.
That's got some thrills. Your
It's got
seat.
some. Yeah, but that's not what horror is. Thrills at edge of your seat.
That's not horror.
not to
Getting
me.
like the goosebumps, like when Salma Hayek is literally her
Not scary.
She-
her what? Her like.
after her.
That's
after,
not scary
what?
either.
Makes
It's
you
not scary
jump.
either. It just makes it difficult mid rub
Wait,
out.
hold-
But other than that, that's the scariest part.
So the frighteners never made you jump.
There's jump
Yeah.
scares with like the bad CGI ghosts.
It's not
scary.
frightening.
It's not frightening. It's more like Casper the Friendly Ghost than a horror movie. The Craft is also not scary, but it has more of a dark, foreboding like vibe to it, I guess, that goes more so throughout.
Okay.
I understand you disagree with me, and that's
No, I do.
You're treading into my territory with gatekeeping what is and isn't horror.
mid '90s movies did exist a lot,
Mhm.
where they were billed as like this is why we have the current genre bending that we do,
Yes.
where everything has like 15 subgenres because of this exact mindset I have right now. So if we're gonna consider them all horror, still The Craft,
Okay.
The Craft is a good choice.
good movie.
And I don't think the sequel held up, but it does have a nice connection to the first film, the more recent one. But I have to throw a curveball and go with Scream. I can't let my guy go down. You know, Frighteners is great, Craft is great, From Dusk Till Dawn, but Scream at 96, it's the life of the party.
How come Vicky Valancourt didn't get Best Villain?
Actually, that is
For The
that is
Craft.
true. Actually, I would have.
If
hold
you're
on.
listeners, you better know what I'm talking about with Vicky Valancourt.
I would have. Well,
It's a double reference.
if she was on the list, I would have pushed off Johnny Bartlett, and he's fixing her. We're gonna do a recap.
That's all good. But yeah, The Craft for me, Scream for Ryan and John.
I'm going The Frighteners.
Frighteners. That's good though.
Damn.
I get that.
I love that movie though. It was good. I like Michael J. Fox holds up things much better than I would love to have seen him in more movies around that era.
Mhm.
You know, he's good in what he's in. Go watch Doc Hollywood and tell me you're not enthralled.
Doc Hollywood's excellent.
Yeah, like his career is just good. Spin City has no right being good.
No,
There's no right
No.
being good. It's very good. Thank you,
Family
Michael J.
Ties.
Fox.
Family Ties is excellent.
Family Ties stands on its own. That's why I didn't bring it up. That's just a quality
But
show.
just to say that's his first acting role, his main spotlight, and he shines. Led to him
Didn't they bring in Leonardo DiCaprio
go Growing Pains,
into Family?
Growing
Growing
and
Pains,
he
right.
became more popular. And
All right, so that's our opening game, the Xenomania Horror Awards
and please
that
comment.
John came up with.
And please comment, subscribe, like, and comment on what your favorites are. We know you're listening.
And,
Give it a
and
shot. Have
definitely
fun.
hit us with subs. I definitely
Yeah.
left stuff off that could have been on here.
Like Rumpelstiltskin.
True. Rumpelstiltskin was 96.
I think it was 96 or 97.
Maybe.
But
We're here to
sorry to cut in. I wanted to apologize though, because I was watching our last video for 28 years later. Talk about this, but it didn't make it in the final cut for some reason. Ralph Fiennes and Alfie from the 28 years later, and Jimmy and Cillian Murphy, they're all going to be in the next one, The Bone Temple. So the last film I said Ralph Fiennes wasn't in it, and we did talk about it. It got cut out, and John supplied the info. I wanted to fix that for our listeners out there. And
Did we cut it from the episode?
it just,
Hold on. Just real quick. Did it get cut from the episode?
Yes, it wasn't even in
So
the
why are you apologizing for it to the listener?
It was in the episode. I thought it got recorded. It just sounded good, all right? I was trying to be
It
all
sure did, buddy.
professional, trying to keep views up.
Try to live my life, bro.
Man with a t-shirt.
Oh man, I was just sitting there logicking it, and I was like, wait a second. Does this 3.5-minute aside belong here? Now, guess what's getting cut from this episode, everybody?
God damn it.
We're
No.
cutting the apology.
Bro, we got to
cut.
keep it in for this. Yeah. But with this episode, guys, is on 1996 horror movie Uncle Sam, which we
Yes.
talked about seeing at all the movie rental places.
Yep.
That iconic VHS cover with the Uncle Sam pointing at you and his face is looking all funky.
He wants
It
you.
says, I want you. Yeah, it says, I want you or I'm dead. That's a good one.
You know,
Good.
it's just one of those things where you walk in and it's like getting introduced to that whole world of horror films. As at my time, let's say 96, and that was as modern as can be. It was the hottest rental at Captain Video Source, and it was just selling out. So it gets your attention. And the cover, you're
Yeah.
going to school, first grade,
Mhm.
kindergarten. You see Uncle Sam, you see, I want you to join the army. And then you see him saying, I want you dead. It intrigues you as a kid. It's like, what is this? Plus, the back cover does have like the scene where the Uncle Sam, Willie, which we'll talk about, is peeping in the window of the girl. As a 6-year-old kid, you see that and you're like, all right, what's going on here, you know? But digressing from that scene, it looks like a fun film. It's got like the cover. The cover was white, red, blue. It pops. It's just a fun 1996 B movie horror film, to sum it up.
It is. And it was interesting because we actually got to watch this one all together.
Yes, we did.
Well, I mean, we've all seen it, but we got to watch it again all
No,
together. It was
first time
fun.
for me.
It was goofy. Oh,
Yeah.
really? Good. Cool.
That's why I was. That's why I was
Goofy.
intent.
Oh yeah, I knew that was.
So I was like so focused reading the closed captions.
Oh, and I'm just sitting there doing comments, being a jackass.
I was fine with it.
I'd forgotten a lot of the stuff that happens. I watched it in the 90s.
It's not as gory as I was expecting. I thought a little more gore. Besides the opening scene where he gets caught in friendly fire and he's burnt to
Yeah.
a crisp. That was the only gory scene in the whole film. Plus the makeup was excellent in this film. On a budget of $2 million. Very, very well done.
It's
Fan-
another collaboration too between Larry Cohen writing and William Lustig directing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the two of them separately have created some magic. Together, you've got this and Maniac Cop that they made together. Just awesome horror.
And you got the vibe of Larry Cohen's writing. I've seen Maniac Cop. Like he's got a good vibe. He's got the good like pace for it. And it shows in Uncle Sam. It's a quick pace horror film. It does well. When we talk about the ending, I feel like it does fall off a little bit where he does compress everything.
Oh, hello. Well. We had a sighting. I'm not sure if you noticed, John, but there's someone in your house.
They're behind you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna come and collect this small kitten who is
Oh,
wreaking havoc with wires.
gotcha.
Like playing with them, like
Yeah.
or biting
Yes.
them. Okay.
Yes, both.
That was the one downside
Amazing.
having my cat is catching her biting on my Super Nintendo controller after school and have to go to Sears buy another controller, you little harlot. It's gonna say something really
Harlot.
nasty.
Why would you name your cat Harley?
Oh no, her name was Daisy and I called her Chi Chi, but she was a harlot though.
Let her live. She was a progressive cat.
He gets shot down. Our Uncle Sam gets shot down in friendly fire. He's burnt to a crisp. And they like
What country was he in when he was shot down?
Kuwait.
Don't look at
was
the
it
screen.
Kuwait?
Kuwait.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kuwait.
It
was
wasn't
Kuwait.
on the
It was
screen. It
96,
wasn't on the
so
screen.
That was it was the sexy war of its time at the moment. But it was in Kuwait post Desert Storm era.
And it kind of illustrates what the vibe is because he starts off with the line, "Don't be afraid, it's only friendly fire," and he blows basically the soldiers away with a pistol. An endless amount of shots, by the way, from that pistol. It's just
Yeah,
20
I
a clip.
mean, yeah,
I think
that's
clips are pretty
normal,
big.
right?
Yeah, somewhat. Like 15 to 18 bullets in a sidearm and a military issue sidearm. But the cool thing is that he shoots the guy through center
Yes.
mass and then kills the commanding officer behind him. And that guy was a dick, so it was fun to watch him die pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I assumed she was going to go wreak havoc where he was, and he just doesn't, I guess. They just ship his body back overseas to his family who's waiting
Yeah.
for him in some location in America. Do we know where the town is?
Rivers, USA.
That's amazing. That's Twin Rivers. We skipped the state. It's Twin Rivers,
Yeah.
USA
There's
town.
two rivers.
State is irrelevant.
Yep. Welcome back,
It is
Sam.
any town.
Sam gets shipped back to his widow
And
and her identical
Yeah.
twin sister, which is what it looks like anyway. But it's not. The girls aren't sisters together. There's no blood relation there. It's Sam's sister who looks just like his
Nope.
wife.
Yep.
Which, no, it's not Sam's
Yes.
sister.
yes.
It is Sam's
It
sister
is,
who looks just like his wife.
Yes.
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 So we get that going.
And his nephew, Jody, will from
Looks like
here
he's
out
wearing a
be
helmet.
called Chody.
He is definitely 100%
Yeah, he's
a
one of the more
chode.
annoying kids. One of the more annoying kids in movies. He just sucks all around. His haircut makes you progressively angrier as you watch it.
You hope you want to like the kid. They try to make you like the kid and they force it down your throat. He's unbearable.
Yeah.
You think about the worst kids in the horror film who are just pains in the asses, and he just takes the cake. Because he's just he's a whiny. My Uncle Sam is a man. He fought in the war. We have Chef. We have Chef in here real quick. And I'm jumping into that. You can see the disrespect, and like he's just like you trying to like they want you to sympathize with him and you can't. That was like the one thing I feel like the writer Larry did like missed on that, Larry Cohen, was there's no sympathy for this kid. You kind of feel bad for the mom, maybe the aunt, but the kid, you want
Mhm.
Uncle Sam to wreck him.
I don't think you're supposed to feel particularly sympathetic for Chody through most of the movie. I think he's this gung-ho, rambunctious little turd.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking that's his purpose. I don't think he's meant to be likable, especially with how the movie ends up. But he's kind of a shit throughout the entire thing.
Well,
He does things that the viewer is going to get annoyed at, like fondling the casket, not fully opening it, and things like that.
not knowing,
Just can't stand
not
it.
knowing
Yeah.
how to open the casket. I don't know how to open this casket. You just turn the latch, buddy. You just turn the damn latch. You know how to put a purple heart on. You don't know how to. Let me stop. Kid probably needs a lot of help, and I'm like really shitting on it. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
Are you
he
okay?
he seems to need a lot of help because he's in school during the 4th of July week.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that's a good point. Really
Either
messed up.
you're a real academic achiever or they have a really weird school calendar.
That was weird to put school on July 1st. Even if it's summer school setting or a camp setting, you're not sitting in a classroom ready for class with the bell ringing in the background.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous for a school to be in session on July 1st.
Which
Agreed.
the days are quick. 1 minute you're July 1st and the next year July 4th. It's very,
The movie's very thin.
yeah.
They get into it and establish weird relationships between Jody's mother and his aunts and their relationships with these men. And John pointed out, I have to bring this up, that everybody looks alike.
Yeah, they do.
The two main females look alike, and there's 3 men in the movie that look identical as well.
The teacher,
They're just like all the same archetype. Yeah,
The sheriff.
The police officer
tradesman.
and the lawyer, yeah, they're all the same guy.
they're our
So you're-
siblings. They didn't tell us.
So you're watching, you're like all kind of bleeding together with it. And it's also just like his Uncle Sam not getting this amazing script. So the movie tracks on a bit and you get yourself to a point where they introduce, I believe, Isaac Hayes comes in. We were skipping over the commander
Yep.
who's trying to diddle the widow. There's a commander who brought the cast in.
Mhm.
Everything. He's trying
Yeah,
to diddle the widow. And his
Yeah.
whole shtick.
the officer who notifies the next of kin that their family member has died in war is also just trying to get in women's pants the whole time.
He's getting after their sad, grieving widowers. And he's just lame. And then we get, but the big surprise of the movie is that Isaac Hayes is in.
Hello, children.
Which is awesome. That's cool. He's a war veteran who is a Purple Heart recipient as well. Shout out to all our heroes out there. And he's got a wooden leg, which they do some really like silly camera tricks to make work. And yeah,
Are you talking about the knock?
Isaac Hayes is
How
awesome.
he knocks on the leg?
Where he's sitting and you can see he's like right side of his body's higher because he's sitting and his legs under his ass and they have the wood leg in the front. But stuff like that. So Isaac Hayes is in it as well, and he ends up he used to serve with Sam
Yes.
and trained.
He mentored Sam.
Sam's mentor.
And just like the movie, guys, it's 32 minutes into the podcast. Just like the movie, or just like us right now, having not gotten into anything really fun or horror related with regard to this movie, the movie doesn't do either.
No.
Except for that opening scene until we get well into it.
Yep.
And somebody finally does something to conjure Sam out of that coffin. What happens, John?
Oh, we get some young teenage punks desecrating graves and burning flags, and some embers wind up in Sam's grave. And that awakens an angry Sam.
I did like that shot. I didn't like them burning the flag, but for story purposes, how the flag is burning and it looks like fireworks shooting off as it's falling in the grave. It's really cool.
You've gone too
Mhm.
far. You're a traitor.
We'll accept it.
You said it already. Have to roll that one.
We'll accept it.
But it's not like they did in Creepshow when you have the wooden Indian who gets revenge for his owner, kills the people who specifically wronged the owner. Do you
Yep.
guys remember that? Or I think that's Creepshow.
Creepshow too.
Sam comes out and starts killing people, and it's indiscriminate almost. He does go after the guys who did desecrate the grave, but he's not like good, vengeful wraith.
No.
He's a dick. And apparently he's also a dick in life.
He loved to
yeah.
kill.
Yes, that comes out later in the movie, as does how awful a human being Sam was in life. And
Yeah.
his afterlife is a continuation of his hideous humanity.
And there are signs of him messing, like, I wouldn't say messing, but he caused some moments for, I guess, for his sister to have some PTSD, definitely his wife, just like that controlling, fearful hatred that comes out. And Isaac Hayes' character does try to help him, and he notices something wrong when they go hunting. He went hunting with him and carved out that animal. It was like he was a killer. What if he sent him to war, not to get him off that killing spree, but to have him killed himself? Like, get rid of that evil. If he dies out there, he dies out there. Well,
Send him to
with Isaac Hayes' character mentoring him, he eventually mentors Sam's character to going to the army. So maybe that was his way of self-sacrifice. He's like, I'm not going to kill the guy here. He's like my student. He goes out, he dies, but being a killing machine, of course, he's surviving everything. That sacrifice of this evil entity, like, I can't get rid of it, but war can.
Like, Jed didn't necessarily encourage Sam to join the military. He was telling him stories, and in Jed's mind, they were more cautionary tale than incitement to go to war.
Well, he's going around, walking at the festival, checking things out, and he meets a blind kid.
It's a blonde. Yeah.
I'm saying his name. This poor blind kid. It's really weird how they set it up with his accident. It's very questionable how his accident happens. There's like two stories going on that.
He meets the blind kid at the actual
Yep.
4th of July celebration. Right?
Yes.
So we're jumping
Yes.
past a bit of Sam's debauchery, aren't we? Well, I guess not really. He just does the same thing.
Oh, wait,
murder
oh.
spree stuff.
I mean, if you want to go
How he
back,
gets the costume.
the gravesite. Let's take it back to the gravesite.
So he goes on his killing spree, and I mentioned earlier that he isn't righteous and who was killing. We thought they make it seem as though he's just going to kill the people who are desecrating the gravesite.
Yeah.
And he does not. He kills many other people, including poor Willie. Willie, the guy wearing the Uncle Sam outfit on the stilts.
Poor
Poor
Willie.
stilts.
Willie on stilts catches it bad, falls down, gets got by Sam. I think that's one of the first times Sam speaks too, doesn't he?
No, he's
At the
got.
beginning,
Oh, okay. Yes.
right? He kills him, and then he steals his Uncle Sam outfit.
Mask was creepy. Creepy
Mask
mask.
was creepy.
The
And how he
mask.
cuts the costume. He can, reupholsterates it. The blood soaked on it. It stands out. For a $2 million budget film, it stands out. So good old Willie. He's got the stilts on. He's walking around town. Pops into a window. And he gets a little sight, man. Fireworks display a day early.
Yeah. Old Willie runs into Sam, and Sam takes him out with hedge trimmers, and then goes after the cemetery punks.
And he pops out, and let's see, what does he do after that? As soon as he gets the costume, we do kind of roll right into the festivities, don't we?
Because he's like, he
There's
can
some
just
stuff in between.
merge into it. He's giving high fives to everyone. Licking hatchets. It's all right.
Licking hatchets.
Licking hatchets. With his grotesque, purplish tongue.
He's also managed to steal his medals back from Chody.
Yes.
Which
that's
he
right.
doesn't-
puts them on.
He doesn't pin to his clothing. He pins them directly to his charred chest.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That was a fun scene. But yeah, the gore and the killings isn't excessive at all. It's all kind of very left to your imagination almost. Which makes it an interesting movie for the era because there were very gory horror movies at the time.
Yep.
Not this one.
No.
And then kind of makes me wonder what they were hinging the success of this film on. Because there's nothing too overt. Was it the great storyline?
No.
It was.
Just that visual of Uncle Sam.
Yep.
Uncle Sam as a killer.
I mean, that does kind of work. But we get to the festivities. Is it even known that Sam's out killing yet?
No. They
No.
don't even know one's killing yet.
Okay.
Not until pretty well into the carnival. It's billed as a parade that's really brief. It's just like a town Independence Day celebration.
That's what you get. And that's where the blind kid that Brian brought up earlier is rolled out, and he's the victim of a firework accident gone wrong. Sam approaches that kid at some point. It's Jody's friends. He approaches that kid, and I guess he was getting bullied. He's like, "I'll kill them all for you." And then the blind kid's like, "Yes, please do."
That's how he grabs his face, though.
Yeah.
It's just splat. He's like, I understand your pain. No, man, what are you doing? No one else notices this.
Here. Yeah, it's
No.
so funny. He goes around the celebration killing people.
Yeah. It starts as just killing people who, in Sam's view, disrespected the country.
Yeah.
He takes Mr. Crandall, the teacher, for being a coward and not enlisting during Vietnam.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about it.
He goes to Canada.
Yep. He takes out one of the kids from the cemetery, Jesse, who disrespects the national anthem.
During the sack race.
Mm-hmm.
Decapitates
Which is
him.
the longest sack race in history.
Yeah.
I was like,
Glad you brought that
this is
up.
like cross-country sack race.
They're in the woods off the beaten path.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. They're jumping over tree branches. And anybody who's done a sack race knows
Some of them
that
were
going
running.
50 feet is impossible.
Yeah,
The
if-
kids are dying.
If your sack race is more than 50 feet, your sack race is too long.
I'll agree. I don't even think they do it anymore. Now they do that weird 2-person wheelbarrow thing.
I prefer the
Yeah,
sack
they're
race
like
over
behind their
over
hands.
that.
I prefer the leg tied together, so it's the 3-legged run.
Ooh, I
Oh,
like
that's a
that
good
too.
one, We used to do that at Fox.
That
The
always
Fox
leads.
does.
That always leads to
Cut.
face plants.
The 8
People
or
get
the
hurt.
3-legged race.
The 3-legged race. Love a good fall.
As the shenanigans ensue, a congressman shows up for congressman things.
Mhm.
Right?
Played by
And-
Robert Forster.
There was
Yes,
another
sir.
band,
Hmm.
not as exciting as Isaac Hayes. Another bigger
I
name.
mean-
Recognize him.
Think about this. Isaac Hayes is forever with us as chef. There's more love for Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
But
Robert
Forster is an actor. It pops up Jackie Brown.
Hmm.
That pops up to me. That stands out during that time. Because he did Jackie Brown in 95.
Yeah,
and
this
then
was
did
this
Uncle
was
Sam
his Jackie
later.
Brown follow-up.
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
This is the cashing
Phenomenal.
out Jackie Brown fame.
He's like, I'm gonna
But
load up
there-
as much money as I can before Bitcoin comes out.
There was a thing like, and granted, Larry Cohen didn't direct this, but there was a thing. A lot of actors wanted to work with him, especially as a director. There are a lot of names who shouldn't have been in some of the bad movies he made. He always got great performances out of them.
Was it because he's just a friendly guy, or
So,
because of writing?
Yeah, I think he's a friendly, likable guy. People wanted to excel for them, and like he's an actor's director. He's
Okay.
not super demanding on you.
Because he does try his I guess you can say his formula for Maniac Cop, which works out greatly. Good pacing. With Uncle Sam, he tries to do that, and it shows a lot with the dialogue, just how the kills performed. He can't stretch it out. It's very compressed.
Mm-hmm.
That does show, especially talking about the deaths. Not a lot of these deaths are shown. Maybe with when he lifts the kid up, like the flag,
Mm-hmm.
the hedge clipper scene is shown off camera.
The commander.
The
all
commander,
Yeah,
yep.
most of the violence is implied.
Yeah. Which is an interesting way to go. The movie like this, what's keeping us glued to it? Maybe they thought the two blonde females were going to be enough.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. This festive 4th of July party is going on. He's killing multiple people until he gets outed. The sheriff finds one of the bodies.
Mhm.
The way he tells people when he found the body is kind of silly too, isn't it? Or doesn't he like walk up to her? He's like, "There's been a murder.
Yeah,
We found a head.
we found a
And
head.
they
We
cut-
found a
They
body.
cut to the scene.
A
of the
body without a head.
They cut to a scene of the barbecue and they show a severed head on Stoner Girl
Mhm.
making the food. Is immediately murdered afterwards. Makes me wonder, is it that head or another head they were talking about?
She did not deserve that.
No,
she didn't even like that joint.
she's where
she didn't break
she's
a
where
rule.
Sam goes from remotely justified to outright murderer. He attaches the congressman played by Robert Forster to the fireworks rig and sets him off.
If they were going for political commentary with it, which would be kind of funny.
It works.
I mean, I can't imagine what he would have done today.
Yeah.
It's gotten a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going, and then it comes down to them needing to find a way to kill Sam. Isaac Hayes, Jody is teamed up with him.
Jody and
mother-
Barry,
Barry,
the blind
who's-
boy.
The blind boy turned on him. And
Well-
then they're trying to figure out a way to kill him.
He has a
Whose
mental
mom
link
is-
to him.
Just to go back a second, Barry's mom is played by PJ Souls, another horror legend.
Which she doesn't really get a huge amount of limelight in this.
No,
She's just a jerk.
she's an anxious, annoying mom.
What were you saying, Ryan?
I was saying Barry has a mental link with Sam. Like, I always
After he
but
molested his-
after he molested his cheek, he's got something telepathic with him. Something like Halloween 5.
That must
You
have been
re-
like 3 times I went to the bathroom in 20 minutes at the end of the movie
Oh, yeah.
when that was established.
It's after
'Cause
the
they
face touching.
On it too heavily. That must have just been to fill a plot hole to figure out where Sam is or something, right? He knows, basically.
So
So
yeah,
bad.
so Sam takes out the mayor, he takes out the lawyer boyfriend, he takes out the deputy boyfriend.
The lawyer's death was hilarious because he's dressed like Lincoln and he gets shot in the head just like
Mhm.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh, that's raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. Not
I mean, at that point, the lawyers establish him as a little sleazy. He says some things critical of U.S. foreign policy. Deputy did nothing
no.
Yeah.
except have a thing for Sam's widow.
Which might be enough for a psychopathic corpse.
Yeah.
They get to the final confrontation. There's a battle because he tries his best and gets pitched through.
Hello,
window?
children.
It doesn't matter what his character name is, by the way. He's Isaac Hughes.
Yes.
It's
Throw
chef.
him
chef.
through the window. Somebody else described the last fight. So unremarkable.
Oh,
How do they kill him?
you got Jody who distracts him, right? He's like, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to become you. And Isaac Hayes magically drives to town in like 5 seconds, hitches that cannon, and drives back to the house.
Well,
First off, that's a 25-minute distance.
I don't know. They sort of established it as not that long a distance because they get to the house originally walking with a kid, a guy with one leg, and another kid in a wheelchair. They get there quick. It's not a huge distance to cover.
Differently
constraints.
labeled Independence Day march to the house. All right. So that makes sense. How do they kill him? Let's just cut to the chase.
Revolutionary
How do they
War
kill Sam?
cannon.
And that's my favorite part of it. And he misses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And also Sam's on fire because the house is on fire. So he comes out and he's walking down Isaac Hayes. Actually, is he walking down Isaac Hayes or is he walking down Jody?
Jody.
Yeah.
And Isaac Hayes is like pumping the thing full of black powder, pushing it down. Like it's taking a hot second for him to reload it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shoots Sam.
The
That gets-
lightning.
yeah, all that good suspense building, good stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then, John, how cool is it when he flies backward after you shot with
Oh,
a
that
cannonball?
that's awesome. You just
Makes the
cannonball
movie
to the chest, explode.
good stuff. And you're in the middle of eating your popcorn or your late night ho-hos or whatever it is in 1996, and you're like, because you're a stupid kid.
Yep.
And you got this from Blockbuster. Woo! And that's Uncle Sam. There's not much more to talk
No,
about.
I mean,
but I'm sure somebody
We
can-
finish up with Jody burning all his war toys, which seems
Yep.
like it's Jody coming around being normal, and then ends with a shot of full creepy Jody.
Again,
Well, creepy
very,
Jody, on Jody.
very
like a shot.
Halloween like type with Jamie at the end of the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of
Yep.
having the scissors, it's like showing that she became Michael with the eyes. It was the best acting from him in the whole movie.
Because that's where he
Just-
wasn't acting.
Bill. Yeah, exactly.
It was
It's just a creep. All right, guys, that's Uncle Sam 1996. We're going to get into our top fives. Ryan, you ready?
Yes, I am going to be sweet and quick with it. Or quick and sweet, whichever the way it goes.
Short and sweet.
But short and sweet, long and sweet. Any sweet. Well, I went with top 5 B movie horror films from the
Ooh.
90s. And this
Oh,
is
tough.
my
That's a
this is
tough
my opinion. I went through the memory bank on this, and I'm gonna start with a little treasure called Pinocchio's Revenge.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, basically follows a lawyer who brings home a wooden puppet found buried with a boy, supposedly killed by his father, and he decides to bring it to his 8-year-old daughter Zoe. And accidents start happening, and all hell breaks loose. And they say this is closer to Don Mancini's original intent for Child's Play, which is
Okay,
pretty
cool.
cool.
It was almost a nominee. Like number 6 out of 5.
It's
And
creepy.
all-
It's a creepy film. I don't know, the wood, splinters. But
No.
my number 4, though, I got to go with Jack Frost. Not the Michael Keaton one.
Oh, never the
Talking about
Michael
the horror
Keaton.
This is like the greatest hits of those blockbuster movie covers I was talking about. It's
Uh-huh.
another iconic one.
Oh, Jack Frost is such a good B movie.
There's a Vinegar Syndrome release of Jack Frost with a lenticular cover You move it and it goes from regular snowman face to evil snowman face. So
Yeah.
cool.
My Uncle Sal had the original DVD, and it had that on there. So my number 3 is Curse of Puppet Master. Human
I'm
Experiment.
surprised that's not number 1.
Oh no, I got a better choice for number 1. But it stars George Peck as Dr. Mayhew, who experiments with transforming humans into puppets. And he kind of uses the puppets as to his own gain. Question on where it is in the continuity. I think it's after the 5th one, but they say it's before the first one. There's a lot of questioning on that. But it does have a cool scene where one of the victims has like the mechanisms. They become the puppet. Pretty cool. Number 2, Head of the Family.
Ah, there you go.
That's why I popped for that earlier. Just a fun horror film. And I know Kearns has to use the bathroom, so I'm going with the number 1. Wishmaster. We have talked about Wishmaster. So that's it. All right. John, let's do this.
Let's do this. It's a good number 1.
Yeah, Wishmaster. I love Wishmaster.
Wishmaster's a good one. All right. I went top 5 Larry Cohen movies.
I
Oh,
was
cool.
going to. I haven't seen that much.
His first writing credit is from a TV show in 1958. He wrote westerns, police dramas, an episode
Okay.
of The
Yeah,
Fugitive.
That's what sold back then.
Mm-hmm. He wrote an episode of The Fugitive. Then he moved into movies. 2 of his first 3 movies are blaxploitation. Hell Up in Harlem and Black Caesar are him.
Okay.
So, like, it's really versatile in what he could do. I stuck to mostly his horror in my list, but... So my number 5 is the little gem called It's Alive.
Oh, cool.
So his family are expecting a child, but when it's born, it's apparent this is no ordinary baby. Their child kills when it's scared, and it scares easily. This is not only written, but directed by Larry Cohen. So I'll move to number 4, which is Q the Winged Serpent.
Never heard of this.
This
heard of
one's
that
great.
either.
Q the Winged Serpent is essentially Larry Cohen's kaiju movie. So New York police are
kaiju
flooded with calls of a giant flying lizard that they obviously treat as a hoax until the lizard starts snatching people off the street. The hunt is on to find where the creature is nesting, and it turns out there's only one person in the whole city who knows where he is, and it's an ex-con named Jimmy Quinn, and he's in no rush to give up the information. He wants benefits from it.
Okay.
My number 3 is God Told Me To.
Interesting.
So you'll notice Larry Cohen's a New Yorker. A lot of his stuff is set in New York City. So God Told Me To, New York City is besieged by a string of murders committed by seemingly random people with no motive except that they say, God told me to.
It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So as Detective Peter Nicholas investigates deeper and deeper, he starts to find a link to a Christ-like man named Bernard Phillips, who appeared to each of the killers.
Interesting. I've never heard of that one either.
What's up?
Tonight.
Yep. I'm going to put that one on the list.
That should go on the letterbox.
Mm-hmm. My number 2 is only number 2 because I think I've given it out already, but it's The Stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And I cannot get enough of The Stuff. This new Cool Whip style dessert has become all the rage. It's a tasty, highly addictive treat with one unexpected side effect. It hollows its consumers out, leaving them as mindless, zombie-like addicts, craving more.
See, good films.
They are.
And my number one is a Larry Cohen, William Lustig collaboration, which we mentioned earlier, Maniac Cop.
Bruce
That
Campbell.
seems to be one of Ryan's.
Bruce Campbell, Tom Atkins, Wayne Landon. A large man dressed as an NYPD officer goes on a killing spree. Suspicions fall on Officer Jack Forrest. But Detective Frank McRae, played by Tom Atkins, and Jack's girlfriend, Teresa Mallory, also a police officer, are determined to prove that Jack is innocent and to identify the true Maniac Cop.
Such a good film.
That's my top 5, guys.
We're gonna end up doing Maniac Cop one of these days.
Oh,
but
for
that is
sure.
Uncle Sam.
We're
Yeah,
going to
we
do all
are.
3 Maniac Cops. I realized I didn't know there is a remake of Maniac Cop.
Really?
Really?
There's a 2000 listing on
In a month?
IMDb for a 2008 one that Larry Cohen has a characters created by credit.
I don't know. I wonder if it was like CD movie, like independent fan film type
I
deal.
can't imagine it's higher than Fright Night 2.
Nothing's ever. It might be. Might be. That movie was garbage.
The OG
Digress
episode.
on that.
You know what? We're putting Fright Night up on the cards for the end of the episode for this one. You're probably seeing it right now. So, our Fright Night 2 episode. That was Uncle Sam. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of
Happy
July.
Take care.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Be very